Leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No, 0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Please stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalk me. That's why I don't. Leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No,
0. That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey, men. Leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to. But even when they're not, unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her. And you need to leave her alone. And this is Bacon.
I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't.
Look what that says. Did he really just say, I don't care what you want? I hear it all the time. This is my day every fucking day. She gets to go home and get away from it. She did have to move. Mr. Perry hacked a Peeps. Both of those are felonies. He actually didn't hack my phone. He cloned it. Charles Perry cloned my phone. This is Cynthia Ortiz. These are the Charles Perry Stalker podcast, documenting the stalking. It is already being played in court to get investigatory orders. This is evidence. It expresses my intent not to be stalked, not to have any contact with Weird Perry, Weird Charles, and Creepy Chucky, Charles Perry. And I moved twice to get away from him. I moved to the Dallas area, and then he stalked me there and interfered with somebody that I wanted to date. He interfered with that relationship. He interfered with my work. He's a butt-in. He's a wannabe. Never the one wanted. So I had to move again. I came to Oklahoma where I got a bunch of family. And he's interfered with those relationships too. Anything he can ruin, anything he can take, he'll do it. And then he'll type in my phone. Look what I can do and get away with. Look what I can do and get away with. I'm going to ruin you. I'm going to have you arrested. I'm going to find a way to get you. I can. I win in court. I win. Who's leaking? Is it your family? Is it your friends? Is it Jim? Is it Kim? Is it Z? Is it Ty? Is it Lawrence? Is it Andrew? Is it Al? And I'm just like, oh my God. So I never get away from it. I just try to do anything on my computer at all. Do my homework, talk to a friend. He's typing right over my typing. So sometimes if anybody catches mistakes, it's not auto-suggest, it's Mr. Perry. And somebody pointed that out and said, he could make the argument that it's auto-suggest if he weren't him or his family or his staff or these guys like Mickey James and Penta weren't showing up where she is. How do they know where she is? I don't call Mr. Perry. He's bothering me. Nobody's bothering him. He's coming to Oklahoma and bothering me. And somebody, we are, in our court, whatever court he's claiming he won in, and Judy Parker, I guess, is one of the judges involved. And I guess at one time it was Judge Kirkendall. And she told him, it looks to me like you're doing what the harassment email says from 2017. We're going to send her home, harass the shit out of her. And then when she complains about it, we'll say she's harassing us. We're going to lie. That's our plan. We sat down. We had a meeting. It's malicious. It's going to cause her an injury. It's a crime. We don't care. We're going to do it anyway because we can. Look what we can do and get away with. They think nobody's holding them accountable while we quote them. Nobody understands why the hell they think that. Just because nobody will tell them who it is. Nobody is going to tell you anything. I don't care who the hell you think you have helping you. You're not going to get the truth. It's not going to happen. They're going to lie to you because they're going to protect the integrity of what they're working on. They didn't put all this time and energy and money into it to just tell you. What my guy said is, I can try to help Mr. Perry get the least amount of time that can be done, which at this point it's life for him, really. But the more he does to you, there's less I can do. So, but the first thing he has to do is comply with the law. He cannot contact you. He cannot invade your privacy, nor can anybody he is working with. And you're not to be broke anymore. He is to get his hands out of your wallet. Lucky Miller coined that phrase, get your hands out of her wallet. At least that's what he told me. Mr. Perry, your contact makes me want to vomit. It's not wanted. That's the reason we do these podcasts. Apply the but-for legal standard. Use allegedly. Nobody's been found guilty in a court of law just yet. Apply the proximate cause legal standard, the reasonable, prudent individual standard. And I assert all constitutional rights, especially locals, equal protection to women. Equal protection of the laws that are in Mr. Perry's infringing on my rights as a person who lives in Oklahoma in the United States of America. Women have the right not to be peeped on, not to be stalked, not to be bothered by a man they don't like, not to be harassed, not to be threatened with false arrest every fucking day. He changes the reason. They had a jewelry scam. Give her jewelry, and then we'll say she stole it when she pawns it off. That was one. They tried to frame me for a murder twice. One was Caitlin Arquette's murder. And I'm like, well, gosh, here's the thing. I've never held a gun. She was shot in the head. So, I didn't own a gun. I've never held a gun. I didn't have access to a gun. I've not even touched a gun. Haven't in my entire life. The one and only gun I've ever touched in my entire life was like some sort of replica thing my dad had. It wasn't even a real gun. It was for decorative purposes. And I've not shot anybody. And there's incidentals on my hands. Now, Mr. Perry met me in 2010. That murder happened like 40 years ago. So I have incidentals on my hands now, and certainly that developed between the Caitlin's murder and the time Mr. Perry would have had access to my fingerprints. So the fingerprints wouldn't have matched at all. It might have been my fingerprints if he's planted. You can duplicate a fingerprint. They're starting to find new ways to get people into security, like using eye scans or vein scans in the hand, so it actually scans the veins inside your hand, because too many people are duplicating fingerprints and getting past security. So you can duplicate a handprint or a fingerprint, but Mr. Perry would not have had access to my handprints from 30-40 years ago. Now I've burned myself, I've cut myself, there's all new markings on my fingers now. So, I mean, he didn't think that through. And so that they nixed that, I guess. Then there was some other murder where they found some chick that looks similar to me. Except the witnesses we heard said she's quite a bit heavier than Cynthia. The girl has darker skin than Cynthia. They all try to start getting me to tan. They all start trying to get her hair's more of a blonde. Cynthia's more of a white, blondish white. The other girl's is more of a blonde. So then they start trying to find out what my hair color is, what color I color my hair exactly. Some lady literally came up to me in a Quick Trip. I want to know the brand and the color you use on your hair. And I looked at her and I was like, oh my God. And I don't know you from Adam, and you come to the Quick Trip where I am? Because Mr. Perry clones my phone and uses it to GPS me. So that's what the guy said. He could say it's auto-suggest, except there's this Mickey James guy, Pinto guy, his daughter, his stuff. They're all going where she is. She's not going where they are. They're showing up where she is, uninvited. So how do they know she's there? He had to have cloned her phone or hacked her phone, and he's using it for GPS. Like having me pulled over. You call the cop, because I quoted one of the cops that you asked to do that, and he told you no. There's been more than one cop that told you no. Those two that came to Sensations and said he told us to find a way to arrest you, we said no. And I wrote a letter to the U.S. Attorney as a result of that conversation in August 2015. Some cops, I'm not going to be your bitch, and our guys are helping them. Then nobody's going to help you. Nobody's going to help you. And the longer you drag this out, Mr. Perry, the less he could do, even if he wanted to. Everybody just wants you gone. Just fucking be gone. Because all you do is make problems. All you do is waste everybody's time. All you do is make problems and pester people. And everybody has to waste a lot of time saying the same thing to you over and over and over and over. Listen, bitch, I worked around federally elected officials. My granddad was an elected official. I've worked around doctors and surgeons. I own a medical business for 20 years. I've worked in a strip club. Never in my life have I had to repeat myself like this. Write it the fuck down, Alzheimer's. Or get yourself a nurse. It's constant repeat. Once y'all talk about doing something to me, and then we find out, so you put it on hold for a little bit and then try again later. We don't just have one recording of you. Now we've got 2. And then you do it again. Then we got 3 recordings of you. It's very hard to argue against malicious intent when you talk about it that many times. So remember, I'm in college for criminal justice. I took criminal law. I made an A in that class. You have to do the mens rea. You have to prove that an act was committed. The act broke the law. It's against statute. And it caused another person an injury. And you intended to do that. Sometimes it's an accident, self-defense. Sometimes it's an accident. Sometimes it's negligence. But when you sit down and have a meeting, how can we hurt her? And you decided, we'll do X, Y, Z. And we'll fuck up her car. Or take her car, or have her pulled over and ticketed, and targeted, selective targeting, whatever, prosecution, or we'll try to trick her into this, or we'll try to trick her into that, or we'll provoke. And then when she reacts, we'll call that reaction to what we did that was a crime. We'll say she's the criminal. Okay, everybody's onto that, because we've said it over and over and over and over, and then you do it. And if you really think you're fooling people, you're just delusional. Mr. Perry has Huntington's disease. That causes paranoia, delusion, psychosis, impaired cognitive reasoning. He can't think past tying a shoe. 2 and 2 to him is square. Literally. He can't think. Half the time he has no fucking idea what you just said. And you can tell by the way he acts. We hear it all the time. He gets a glazed over look in his face, and you can tell it's just not clicking for him. He has no fucking idea what you said. He can't understand you. The guy needs to be, if his family cared about him at all, he'd be in a nursing home. So they might have some criminal charges too. Negligence. No one cares. Get the guy out of here. How are you spending your time? Whatever court you're in, that judge had better think this through. Because in our court, you're going to account for how you spent your time. So that judge, if it's Judge Parker, you better start asking him how he's spending his time. And make him account for every minute of every day. Because he's spending his time bothering me. And that's a criminal act. There's hacking, there's peeping. And he's a peeping Tom. He's a voyeur. He's a sicko. And then they're sitting around trying to figure out how to ruin my life. Mr. Perry, you're creeping me out. You're just creepy. See, that should embarrass you. Why the hell does that not embarrass you that you're that creepy? You're not loved. You're not wanted. You're not in a romance. A 1-year-old little girl can sit around and watch TV all day and play with, little girl toys and pretend. That's the best you can do. How embarrassing. Why the hell are you not embarrassed? Because you really should be. Embarrassed enough to stop. That deters. That's the reason why everybody else doesn't do what you do. Because it's fucking embarrassing. That's why a lot of guys came into my work and said they wanted me to say this, and this to you. And I fucking know. I am not weirdo. So some guy says, is this that chick that lost her butt trying to help Officer Neely? She's trying to help a cop. They want me to pull her over. Yeah? Why? Just to harass her? I guess. Yeah, when she blows by here, I gotta go to the bathroom. So how did he know when I was gonna blow by there? We've said this before. I'm repeating and repeating and repeating the same thing over and over and over and over. It's wasting a lot of people's time. wasting a lot of people's time. So Mr. Perry does the same thing. I want to lie. I want this. I need a lie. I want to lie. I need you to lie. You're going to come. I want you to come. What come? No. I said fucking no. Get away from me, weirdo. No. Get the fuck away from me. You fucking weirdo. Leave me the hell alone. You know what? Why don't you think about what Jackie wants, what Matthew wants, what Jordan wants? They want you creeping on women all day long? Huh? They gotta, believe me, I have had to apologize for some things my dad did. And it was nothing compared to what you've done. Not even nothing at all. And it was hard for me to have to do that. But I did. Your kids have to apologize for you long after you're dead, and you put that on them. What about what they think? What about what the Neelys think about what you've done to them? What about what the Millers think about what you've done to them? They want their dad back. The Millers and the Neelys want their dad back. I want my money back. I want my family back. I want my friends back. I want you gone. I want my privacy back. What about what I want? What about what I think? What about what I need? Because you're not the victim, I am. But it's different when you do it to me. It's different. Nobody else knows your people's names. Calvin, who's bald and fat. Sonjay, your hacker. Lucious. Right? Blankenship, Desiree. Beverly, Kate. Let's go through the list again. Lawrence, Dickie, and Richard. Not the same guy, two different guys. Right? James and Ruben. I mean, we just name one of my guys. We quote you guys every fucking day. Now he's typing in my phone. We're gonna sue you. We need to serve you. We need to get you served. We need to arrest you. Go back to work. What does he think I'm gonna go? Oh, okay, sure, I'll get right on that. He does it all the time. Does it all the time. Weird shit like that. Weirdo. Strange-o. And he's not embarrassed. Not one bit embarrassed by that. Strange-o shit he does. I would die. I would fucking die if I acted like that. Somebody said that. If ever I'm as delusional as Charles Perry, shoot me. I don't even want to live. That guy is making a fool of himself. And he has no fucking idea. It's embarrassing. I wouldn't walk in a room with you for millions. You embarrass the hell out of me. What about your kids? Get the fuck out of my life, weirdo. Get the fuck out of my privacy. Get the fuck out of my phone. Get the fuck out of my computer. Get the fuck off your lazy butt. Your fat ass. Your pervert ass. And go be normal. And get busy working. And get busy with your family. And get busy doing normal things normal people do. And then you don't need a lie. Right? So what happened with work is he did dry up all my money. This was talked about a long time ago. Make sure I think Calvin was at the head of that. Make sure she can't make money any other way. So they call everybody I'm trying to get work with, him and David. Make sure she can't make any money. Get her back on that pole and on a schedule. You know, hillbilly. Remember? I fucking hate the hillbilly. And get her back on that pole and on a schedule. And we got it. Well, that way we can mess her up real good. Subjugate her. Because we all on Noah's Ark. We bunch of hicks who believe women ought to be subjugated. What about Justice Sotomayor? What about Justice Kagan? What about the Supreme Court? Amy Barrett. Justice Amy Barrett. What about them? Do you think they think women ought to be subjugated? Wow. Sometimes I wish you would come over to try to kidnap me so I could just kick the fuck out of you. Just to have an excuse to kick the fuck out of you for being stupid. It angers me that much. We don't do gender discrimination anymore, TPD. We don't do it. It's not tolerated. So cops from somewhere else gotta help me. Because y'all are hillbilly. Backward, Noah's Ark. Men pick on women. Men harass women. Men beat down women. 44% increase in dead women due to domestic violence in the state of Oklahoma since 2020. And there is no fucking excuse for that. Except you got your head up your ass. And it's not accepted in us. It's not accepted in a civilized society. We do not act like that anymore. Gender discrimination, Mr. Consueler, I'm asserting that now. I have the right to equal protection against it, and to anti-stalking laws, and to anti-voyeurism laws, and to anti-harassment laws, and to anti-perjury laws, and all that stuff. Mr. Perry goes into court and lies, and he knows he's lying. You know he's lying too, don't you? When you got cops from some, because not all the cops think this is cute. Not all the cops think it's cute. They don't. But those two witnesses come in and told me in August 2015, he told us to just find some way to arrest you. He wants a smear campaign because you called him out on stalking. And we were like, nope, that's not why we signed up to be police. We signed up to be police to help women not get stalked. So you need to watch everything you're doing here, because he's going to try to find something. Anyway, so they dry up all my money. So I go back to work. And then they have my coworkers bully me. And I left. I have told them I'm coming back. I'm just taking a little break. That's to get some stuff taken care of that I needed to get taken care of. And so now Mr. Perry's typing in my phone, go back to work. We gotta sue you and get you served and arrest you. So just so everybody knows, that's the threat that's been made today. It's very specific. So what do? Go broke? Or go back to work? And then he's already told me they're gonna hurt me. He's already threatened me. If you go to work to make money and just feed yourself, we're gonna hurt you, and here's how. We're going to sue you. Then we're going to serve you. We've taken all your money so you can't fight us in court. And then we're going to have you arrested. That threat's been made. It's very specific. And it's very detailed. And we've heard them all week. We needed her back at that club so we could make the proper ID. Yeah. Okay. The woman who they tried to, frame me for a different murder. I don't even know how the person died. But what I do know is the witnesses said the girl that did it, or their doppelganger or whatever, she's quite a bit heavier than Cynthia, and her hair's a different color. We need to get the hair color. On the day of the murder, the hair color was still different, and her skin's darker, and she's quite a bit heavier than me. Regardless of what changes you've tried to make in altering evidence, because y'all are big on destroying evidence or altering evidence, and we've talked about this already. This has been out there quite a lot. I guess somebody talked to somebody. Well, I guess one of my professors, they're talking to my school, talked to somebody at TPD, and the guy said, she's being uncooperative in a murder investigation. And the guy flat said, if they're trying to alter evidence, she didn't do it. So I don't think she's being uncooperative. I think she has reason not to trust you. And we put that out a long time ago too. Philip and Mallory and a whole bunch of other people already have this stuff. Because it's been said over and over. Because y'all don't just talk about it once. You repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat. It's like being in a fucking nursing home with a bunch of Alzheimer's patients. The amount of times you guys repeat the same conversation. And then we have to repeat. Well, we caught you again. It's the same fucking thing. We've already talked about this. We already know. We only need one. We only need one to prove malicious intent. I don't go where you are. You haven't lost your cars and your homes or money. Now, you might have lost money that ill-gotten gains. You might have lost money that you got from committing criminal activity, and I'm happy to be the one to do that, believe me. But just normal work, normal people do. You haven't lost that. If you do anything like that, we catch your money laundering at the fucking... somebody was saying that. Here again, they try to get her back out of that club to try to get something out of her. They can try to, hurt her with it. Just normal things she might say. Try to hurt her with it. And she didn't give them shit. Try to find out who these guys are helping her. She didn't give up shit. You know what she did? She caught the money laundering. Because there's one or two girls in there that make $1 to $5 grand a night on stage, which the club gets none of. And it's different guys every time. And that's not normal. That is not normal. And not only that, they're driving a fucking clunker. I think one of them doesn't have a car. Living in a dump. have that kind of money, and we're not seeing them snort that up their nose. So where's that money going? That money's going to pay traffic daddy Dave Roberson, right? That we hear they're your victims of trafficking. So I caught that too. That's what happens when you fuck with me. And Mr. Perry, you want and you need and you lie and I want and yeah. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. And get away from me. I don't care. No one cares. You are not asked. No one, I moved twice to get away from you. I started my life all over again. All over again. That's not easy to do. I was a single mom with a teenage kid. My son Dennis was just, he was in his last year of mid school and then starting his first year of high school. I'm a single mom. In my 40s, I got to start my life all over again. Completely learn how to, I've been in business in the professional world. I've been I owned a medical business. I owned a clinic, medical supply company, and I lobbied, and I had, I did all that. And I got to certainly transform myself into a fucking stripper. Never even walked in a strip club before in my life. But I'm gonna fucking catch the bad guy, okay? That's it. That's what I'm gonna do. And nobody's done it like I have. Oh, you know what? We attract to ourselves what we want. I think you're telling yourself you want the wrong thing, Mr. Perry. You want to be caught. It's what you want. Some guys get so disgusted with themselves, but they can't stop. They don't have any control. They can't stop themselves. They know they're a weirdo. They know they're repulsive. But they don't have any control. They can't stop. They want someone else. They want law enforcement to do it for them. I think that rapist in the movie Unbelievable on Netflix, the first cops fucked up. TPD fucked up big. And then they looked bad. Guess who got him? Female officers in Colorado got the bad guy. The dudes, the guy cops, fucked up. Does this sound familiar at all? Does it sound familiar? I'm not a cop, but I'm something. And right now, y'all don't need to know that. What you need to know is you're not doing your job, and everybody's getting embarrassed for you. Just so you know, getting embarrassed for you. I mean, it is what it is. So, you got a rapist, Mark O'Leary. And he kept, because the guys in one town fucked up, he's got more victims, which is what TPD's done. More victims, more broken lives, more broken hearts, and they don't give a fuck. We do. Thank God somebody does. So these guys can't stop themselves, so they attract to themselves somebody that will do it for them. And my thing was I want to be like my granddad. I want to relieve suffering caused by crime. Here am I, send me. That's what the woman detective said in the Unbelievable Netflix thing. That was documented. It's a movie, like a docudrama about the Mark O'Leary rape, where one cop fucked up, male cop fucked up. And the female cops got the bad guy. They're the heroes. They're the legends. So I've done what nobody else has done. I have their names of their people. They don't have even one of ours. We quote their meetings. They haven't quoted any of ours. Right? So you gotta live like this every day to catch the bad guy. Okay, it sucks. And this girl could go home and get away from this monster. Mr. Perry hacks, peeps, tries to talk to me like he thinks I give a fuck what he thinks, because he's delusional, severely delusional, because I don't give a fuck what he thinks. I don't give two shits what he wants. He's infringing up on my rights, and I said, moral rights and legal rights, I said, get the fuck out of my phone and my house and my car and get away from me. Get the fuck away from me, weirdo. So this is what you scream sometimes, leave me alone, and it still doesn't click, and it's like, what the hell,
live here anymore because you stalked me. That's
No,
why
no,
I
I don't.
moved.
Just talk.
Leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No,
and I'll leave you alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you. I don't ever want to hear your voice, you. Please, God bless you, but please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Please stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop! I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalked me. That's why I
No, I
moved.
don't. Just talk.
Leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No,
and I'll leave you alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you. I don't ever want to hear your voice, you.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me.
Repeat. Wasting everybody's time. Having to say the same thing over and over and over. And you guys repeat the same conversation. Wasting everybody else's time. And he talks about her clothes. Nobody gives two fucks what you think about her clothes. You are not asked. Mr. Perry, when you try to tell me how you feel, and you need a lie, and you want this, and you want that, and you start bossing me around, and you start threatening me, oh my God. Wow. It's like you think I care what you think, and I'm pretty sure I made it clear I don't. Do you understand what people say to you or not? If you do, you need to act like it. Because everybody's starting to talk behind your back about how you glaze over and act, it looks like you went somewhere else. And like you have no fucking idea what everybody's saying. You need to be in a nursing home.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes and I'll leave you alone.
Oh my God. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How do you dress like this? What are you a prostitute? I'm curious.
Sir, please leave.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave me alone.
All you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes and I'll leave you alone.
Oh my God. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How do you dress like this? What are you a prostitute? I'm curious.
Sir, please leave.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave.
Stepdad been raping you.
Alright, when a man is peeping on you, it is like getting raped. If you Google any of these incidents that have occurred where some guy hacked a woman's computer and using her webcam, everybody's sick. It's like, oh my God, what a sicko. You should be embarrassed, Mr. Perry. Why the fuck are you not? And judge whoever. Make the fucker accountable for how he's spending his time. Is he sitting on his fat, lazy ass perverting around all day, committing criminal activity? You don't know, but guess what? We do. And we're going to use that in our case. You better find out. You better make it your mission to get every fact that you're going to need. I promise you, you're going to need every fact there is. Fact, ma'am or sir. Get all the facts. Because you're dealing with a serial killer. A grandiose thinking serial killer. And not just one, several of them. You know, several of them. That's what organized crime is, isn't it? These guys, a lot of them are serial killers. Well, that's, you know, murder in the first degree is a pretty big offense, don't you think? And, you know, especially when you kill a cop. Mr. Perry, I'm going to say this to you for the last fucking time, you and David. And Calvin and Lucious, when you kill a cop, that does something in other cops. Maybe TPD doesn't give a fuck, okay, but the bunch of other ones do. And they're gonna kick your ass. And they're kicking it pretty fucking hard. I have your names, don't I? And you don't know even one of theirs. I would say they're kicking it pretty fucking hard. You're not supposed to kill anybody at all. You're not supposed to abuse women and children to feel tough. Princesses, what you're supposed to do is be men, and you be chivalrous, and you protect women and children from monsters like you, and you don't fucking kill a cop. Because the second you start killing cops, you get on the wrong side of a lot of good cops. The bad ones might like you, they may kiss your ass or whatever, or maybe you bullied and threatened them too. I don't know. But that's going to start up some things in motion that you're not going to be able to stop, ever. You will never be able to stop it. They're going to, that's it, you're done. You start killing cops. You should know that. You guys aren't very smart, are you?
Leave me alone! Please!
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
It's disgusting when a man forces himself on a woman. Whether it be stalking or peeping or hacking. I don't like you, Charles. I don't think you're hot and sexy. You think you're hot and sexy. I don't think you're hot and sexy at all. I think you're repulsive. I think you're a sick little weirdo. I think you need to be in a fucking nursing home. I think your mental illness is just, it might as well be a big fat tumor right in the middle of your face. I mean, you can't miss it. Your problem is not, you've made it my problem. And you don't get to do that. Steve Kunstwiller's daughter stabbed him. She's mentally ill. And the guy was heartbroken. I can imagine. No, actually, I can't. I can try to imagine that how hard that must have been. But the thing is he had her arrested. Didn't he? Okay. What makes you think you should get away with some murder of a cop, trying to kill me 2, 3, 4 times, trying to, go into court and perjure yourself, trying to find a way to false arrest me so you get your smear campaign, cover up all the crap you're doing, the other crap, your sex trafficking business and exploitation business and your stalking problem and your peeping Tom problem and all the other stuff you hid all your life until you started doing it to me, and you can't figure out why is it different when you do it to me. Or can you? You don't even know, do you? Now, do you have any other victims that are naming your people? Do you have any other victims that know who Sonjay is? Or Bullfat Calvin? Do you have any other victims that know what Papa John's means? Or Muffin Man? Your guy nicknamed Muffin Man? Do you have any other victims that know it? All that stuff? Okay, but I know it. Why is it different when you do it to me? You probably have no fucking idea what I just said. So, don't ask me who the leaks are and then act like you don't know that you have them. You have leaks. People are sick of this. Everybody's sick of you. I didn't invite you to Oklahoma. I came here to get away from you. David, nobody picked a fight with you. You've not lost your truck or your car or your home, have you? You've not lost a dime. You might have lost criminal money. Boo fucking who? You didn't lose regular, normal job money. So, shut up already. You're not a victim. None of you guys are victims. I don't even know half of you. I've never met you in my life. I hope I never do. Probably for your criminal case, I'm going to see you in court. Otherwise, I don't want to meet you. You're not my kind of people. You don't fit into my crowd at all. Not even a little bit. So, what do I do? Go, do I starve? You're trying to, what we said, you're trying to do coercion. That's also a crime. Grand larceny with intent to coerce. You're taking my money. Interference with commerce with intent to coerce. Interference with contracts with intent to coerce. Deprivation of food and shelter with intent to coerce. I'm telling the truth now, or you wouldn't try to force me to lie, making the pressure unbearable at times. And I'm still not lying. I'm not going to lie for you. Mr. Perry, listen to the words. You're pissing me off that you're pressuring me to lie. I said, get the fuck away from me, weirdo. And that's what I mean. Let's try this again, because you didn't get it the first time.
Alone! Please!
We gotta repeat everything for him, because he doesn't understand what people say.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
Leave me alone! Please!
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that...
Okay, so since they've threatened me at work again, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bait you out. I'm working at Sensations in Inola. I'm not exactly sure. I have taken some time off because you had my coworkers bully me. And I'm not going to get into details on that, but we know you did that. And we know you did it intentionally. So, you want to do it again, have at it. You want to interfere with commerce and contracts, have at it. You want me arrested over there, do it. I dare you. You want to come over there and harass me some more and bother me some more and have some more guys like Pinto and Mickey James come in there and bother me and stalk me and do all the weird things y'all do? Be my guest. Do you hear me? Sensations in Inola. That's where I work. You want to go over there and fuck with me? Do it. There's your bait. All right? That's how we're going to deal with this. That's how we're going to deal with this, stalker. It doesn't get any better than when the bad guy comes right to you. So, that's where I'll be when and if I decide to go back to work. There, it'll be there. There's your bait. Do what you do. And don't whine and complain when we do what we do. It's always the repeat. We do the same thing. You do the same thing, we do the same thing. And y'all have no names, and I'm naming them again. Calvin, who's bald and fat. Sonjay, your hacker. Gipetto, your witch. Beverly, Kate, Ruben, James, Dickie, Richard, Blankenship, and Desiree. Name one of my guys, one. And we gotta get her back on the pole and on the schedule. How'd she find out about that? How did she know about that? How can we get her subjugated? We've never had one with this much longevity. I'm quoting your meetings. Quote one of mine. So now you know where I work. Go fuck with me, I dare ya. See how that works out for you. Alright, here's the thing on Pinto, soliciting prostitution. Somehow he knew where I was gonna be. I didn't know the guy. I don't call Charles. We were in a lawsuit here. I sued them. So we're in the middle of court, and this is out of court harassment right here. This should have given me an immediate injunctive order. So you bought a judge. Ooh, Perry's going around. I win. Nope, you didn't win. You bought a judge. Here's the thing. I like people who are smart, Mr. Perry, not stupid, that can think strategically and do whatever it is you're doing on the up and up above the law, in compliance with the law, and procedures and all that stuff. And you don't have to do all the underhanded backroom. Let's take Judge Cummings hunting, duck hunting specifically, and buy him and get him to sign off on an order where there's not one reason given for the order he gave. He just signed it. Denied. Here. I've not been in a courtroom, sir. I have not been to law school. You have 5 attorneys who are seasoned. And if I didn't have evidence, what's the harm? The guy said, who was it? Consueler said? Who said it? What's the harm in letting her in court to show evidence she does not have? We know she has evidence. It's all over Facebook. Everyone else can see it. The judge looks stupid because the judge isn't looking at it in a courtroom setting where you're supposed to look at it. So everyone else can see she's got evidence. Why can't the judge? Why is not the judge looking at it? Right? You got a lot of reporters with law degrees, Mr. Perry. We got 12 of them helping us. 3 of them not in the U.S. I don't know what you're going to do when they break the story. You know, who do you think you are? Yeah, you're not all there. None of you guys are all there. Sex trafficking is a big business, and we get that. And I know my enemy's huge. I get that, and very dangerous. I get that too. I know exactly what I'm up against. What I know also, though, is there's billions of dollars being spent on fighting sex trafficking. Billions. That's what you don't know. And whoever judge or whoever cop, I'm going to tell you something. You better know your shit. Because it's going to come a day that you're going to look like the guys on Unbelievable on Netflix who got it wrong the first time. And this guy went around making more victims. And 2 women stepped up. One of them said, I'm a Christian. And I told God, here am I, send me. We're going to relieve suffering caused by crime. That's what we do. And we're good at it, by the way. I'm not you don't have to be a cop to relieve suffering caused by crime. If you know something and there's something you can do within the law, do it. Help. So my guy wants me to help Mr. Perry get elected so he can get to you. He's undercover. And as good as I am at a sting op, he's better. He's even better. Right? You make a lot of threats. You've carried a lot of them out. So I work at Sensations in Inola. You want to have me arrested in there, Sheriff Reed? I told you where I am. I'm not hiding. You want to talk to me, and I'm fine with that, but you better know your shit, because I do. You better look over Mike Neely's case. You better look at the news reports and how Ty Buttram and Chief Ridley said it didn't make any sense. If they're on the job, it makes sense, but not what they're saying happened didn't make sense. It didn't make sense because that's not what happened. And any good cop can look at the guy and go, he wasn't in a fight. You don't beat somebody's head back and forth, right hand, left hand, right hand, left hand, so bad he dies of internal decapitation and have no marks on you. It's not possible. I said he was drugged, he didn't do it. Long before, that was confirmed in depositions. He wasn't treated for a head injury. Sheriff Reed, he was treated for being overdosed with opioids. Because here's what happened. They went in the room. People Mike and Lucky trusted, they let him in the room. They were laughing and joking and having a great time. Everyone heard it. All the way down the hall. Then somebody slips in an opioid. Kind of like they slipped in arsenic in my drinks at work at Lady Godiva's. He passes out on the bed. Lucky starts yelling at him, what'd you give him? That's what the fight was about. Hotel John comes to the door because the neighbors complained. Lucky only opened the door, he said, 6 inches, just enough to see his face. He had no reason to conceal Mike Neely, the other registered guest in the room. He'd already seen him in the room earlier that night. So who was he concealing? He was concealing the killer. Lucky is found in a very small, confined space. Face up, nice and neat. Which he was placed there. He didn't fall. Slumped. Then he's covered. They pull Mike off the bed. They throw him on top of Lucky, hiding the faces of both. Because this person felt ashamed of what they did. He didn't want to see what he did as he left the room. Pretty sure they left the room thinking they were both dead. See, I can read evidence. Sheriff Reed, I can read a crime scene. 3rd year criminal justice school. Just about to finish it. Was raised by 4 generations of police. And have help from somewhere else. So Mr. Perry has been telling me all night, go back to work. We want to sue you and have you served. And we want to have you arrested. So, for the record, does everybody know that's been threatened specifically? Kind of like the last time he did that to me. And this should have had a hearing. And an immediate injunctive order. I asked for one. It was the second one I requested. And there was no hearing. Mike Neely, I'm supposed to testify for him. 6 days before that murder, he took my police report on car vandalism. So educate yourself on how many times my car's been hit. Or vandalized. It's bizarre. 4 times, always at the wheel. And then a brick thrown at me on the freeway. So, this guy's soliciting prostitution. Does this look like what the things that a guy does if he needs to pass a law in Texas? No, it's not. Our shrink says Mr. Perry is unable to identify his legislative duties or what state he legislates in. And right now, what state he lives in. Because he's always in Oklahoma, bothering Cynthia. He's going where she is. Telling everybody they're in a relationship. Nope. Oh, fuck no. There's no way. There is no way in hell. It's just rape. He's forcing himself on me against my will. That's why we do these podcasts. To document what I want. And it's not Mr. Perry. It is for Mr. Perry to be in jail. So there's no more pestering. There's no more problems. Everything's not an ordeal and everything's not a thing. He sees himself as God somehow. I'm going to make the problem, and I'm the only thing that will fix it for you. Except you're not. I've survived 9 years of this. 9 years of it. I'm not depressed. I'm not, I just focus on the next step in the process. Because I know the day's coming, you're gone. You're gone. You reap what you sow. You already are. You invade my privacy, they invade yours. And they got a court order too, and you don't. I'm naming your people's names. You don't have even one of our guys' names, do ya? Okay, so Sheriff Reed, just know that all day, Mr. Perry has cloned my phone. The evidence won't be in my phone because he cloned it. It'll be in his phone. All day long, that's all I heard. Go to work. Go back to work. We want to sue you and have you served and arrested. So, okay, he's been telling me that all day long. Pestering me and harassing and threatening. And threatening and threatening. And I've had enough of it. So we do a podcast to document it. But for legal standard. But for Mr. Perry doing that, I wouldn't do a podcast. Believe me, I got other stuff I'd rather be doing. Also on this, Mike Reed, is this. Make sure you read all that. Those are texts from other guys. All the bullshit. Perjury, Mr. Perry, is a big problem for you. We don't decide a case on a whim, the Supreme Court said. We look at all the facts, we apply logic and reason and consider everything, and then we state the reason in the order as to why we're ordering what we're ordering, Judge Cummings. We don't just say denied and sign our name to it, and there's no hearing where both parties are present. I was the person suing, so the burden of proof was on me, and they don't let me in the courtroom. Mike's case, I'm supposed to testify for him, and they didn't let me, and I knew they were going to do that. I was like, fuck, they're not going to let me testify for him. Notice who else didn't. Ty Buttram and Chief Ridley, who could testify. It didn't make any sense. They weren't fighting. Chief Miller and Mike Neely were good friends, and they were not fighting. Gene Mitchell changed his story. First he went to the media. Google it. I'm not going to do your work for you. You got to do it yourself. He went to the media and said, the interview exonerates my client. Because, yeah, you can see he doesn't have a mark on him. He wasn't in that fight. He slept through the whole thing. But then went into court and said, yeah, he did it with his magic gas. Caused blunt force trauma to the head, strangulation, and internal decapitation with his magic gas while he's passed out on Narcan. Now, who paid the jury to not think past tying their shoe? But I knew they weren't going to let me testify, so I filed motions to intervene. I'm fucking going to help the guy come hell or high water. Meanwhile, they're making sure I didn't have money to pay. I didn't even fucking have electricity for a week. No food, no electricity for a week. I'm doing it anyway. I don't care. This is I'll make a sacrifice because however bad my life is right now, Mike's is worse. I've slept in my car and gone days without food. They're punishing me. They're retaliating. Interference with commerce and contracts with intent to coerce. You interfere with a commerce out at Sensations while I'm there, I will fuck you up. Within the law. Within the law. Within my legal rights, Mr. Roberson, I'll fuck you up. Write it down. I'm not going to repeat myself. That's not a threat. That's just what I'm going to do. I don't like crime. I don't like people suffering. Nobody does. That's why they put you guys in jail when you do this shit. That's why we can get names and you can't. That's why we quote your meetings and you have no idea what we talk about. So, and nobody will help you. When y'all leave me alone, our guys will do what they can do. But the more you do to me, the less they can do. Okay, so what there's supposed to be a hearing on whether or not I could even I had standing to file those motions, and again we have no hearing. So Mr. Perry, here's the thing, we can spot a pattern the second time you do it. I'm given some kind of poison in my food, in my drink. Mike is given some kind of something in his drink. Both of us don't die. You do a false arrest, both of us. That's a pattern, bitch. That's a pattern. If you are in or around law enforcement at all, you're working with them. I'm working with Paul. Okay. law enforcement. You're working with law enforcement. I'm going to tell you something, and I was taught this all my life. You look for inconsistencies, you look for patterns, you look for consistencies. The inconsistencies and the consistencies, you're looking for them depending on whether or not they're supposed to be there. So, when you fucked with me, you got caught. Never before has that happened. I have stuff nobody else has. Ask the Muffin Man. Ask the Muffin Man, how many times was your crime caught before you did this to me? And how many after? Ask Sonjay to help you count. Because clearly you forgot how to count. Get the fuck away from me, weirdo. Get the fuck away from me, you weirdo. Whenever judge hears these, that you're trying to make it into something it's not, you better get all your facts, because believe me, I know more than you about what Mr. Perry does with his time all day long. You better find out. It's, unless you want to look like an idiot later and have egg all over your face, you better make sure you have all the facts right now. And that is including, what does Charles Perry do with his time all day, every day? Who's he with? Where is he spending his money? Is he in Tulsa or Lubbock? How often is he in Tulsa? And why? You better start, I'm just saying, because you're going to look bad later if you don't. And as would any cop. So, Mr. Perry, do not contact me again. I don't want to hear from you. I'm not going to help you, and I don't give two fucks what you think. I did not ask you, did I? You were not asked. What I said is, get the fuck away from me, weirdo. Do not contact me again. Don't contact Mr. Perry. He types in my other phone. Sometimes if I stop... See, I'm recording this. He shouldn't know what I'm doing right now, but he does. Because he's a peeping Tom. And he's cloned my phone. So, when I stop and say, please stop, shut up, sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. Alright, so he taunted me and pestered and tormented me all day and threatened. We're going to have you arrested again. I'm going to have you arrested again. Which he's done for years, off and on. Okay, so I got that in jail. Who has the power to get that to me in jail, Charles? That's not your name. That's not some random guy's name. That's Fabian's name. That's the guy in Dallas that I wanted to date. I had to leave him to get away from you. But in Bertha, he caused fear and sadness. Boo is a private joke between one of the cops helping me and him going way back. You're excluded from all that. The sadness, and this is very specific to me. I ordered this in jail. It was from the commissary, and you stole it. Would you throw it away, or I don't know. This is the McNamara email. He's gonna try to do a false arrest, and that was months before you did the false arrest. Who gave him that to me? What does it mean that I have that? See, yeah, all that stuff is. This is where our shrink started saying, I believe him to be severely mentally retarded and severely mentally ill. He's got some kind of aging degenerative disease. Well, later we find out he's got Huntington's. So Huntington's causes delusion, hallucinations, paranoia, psychosis, that's the mental illness part of it, and impaired cognitive reasoning. She said he won't pass the cognitive reasoning test I give my first graders. Well, Huntington's disease causes that. 2 and 2 for him is square, not 4. For everybody else is 4. Everybody else is going, yes, 2 and 2 is 4. Mr. Perry going, no, it's not. It's square. It's that bad. So she was right on. She got it right, big time. We got one of our victims of trafficking and exploitation and blah, 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 that we need to get back to Texas so we can do more to hurt her. Yep. See, that's not normal to want to hurt people and get up their butt and be misogynistic. Misogyny is a thing of the past. Look, they did. I'm not going to confirm or deny this one right now. Look at this. Typed in my phone. We're going to sue you and have you served and have you arrested. Go back to work. All day long. So, duly noted for the record. This was the phone. He tried to text from my phone. We've gone over this over and over and over and over and over and over and repeated it 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 again. And then we repeated it again. And a whole lot of people are getting sick of their time getting wasted with the need to repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat the same old thing over and over and over and over for slow guy. Please leave me the fuck alone. Please leave me the fuck alone. Get the hell away from me and leave me the fuck alone. I don't care what you think. I didn't ask. Get the fuck out of my life. Get the hell out of it. Get the fuck out of my life, Mr. Perry. Mr. Perry, get the fuck out of my life. Mr. Perry, get the fuck out of my life. Mr. Perry, get the fuck out of my life. Leave me the fuck alone. Leave me the fuck alone. Get the fuck out of my life. Get the hell out of it. Get all the way out. Get the fuck out of my life. Get the fuck out of my life. It is March 9th, 2023. This is Cynthia Ortiz. Everybody hear me say that? I don't like you. I don't give a fuck what you think. I didn't ask you what you want. I said get the fuck out of my life. Do not contact me anymore. I fucking hate it. When you do it anyway, our guys get pissed off, and so we start getting what you just said. Okay? Look at this. Okay, so let's go over this real quick. We got all these albums here. When Charles contacts me, my guys get mad, and we get a lot more. Your leaks get mad, so we get a lot more. Oh, now he's disconnecting me from the internet. Brother, hang on. Alright, so we have this. All this that we got. Because Mr. Perry, when he contacts me, our guys are worried about me. They want me to be okay. They want me to be happy. They don't want me to go days without food. Oh, somebody commented on that. We went in and saw her. She's not skinny. She's actually kind of heavy. I'm not heavy. I'm a little chubby. What happens when somebody makes you go without food for days? It traumatizes you. There was a guy on KRMG, whatever it is, talking about that being homeless is traumatizing. It's a trauma to lose everything. All of a sudden, you don't have a place to live. First time in my life. I've never had that happen before. Mr. Perry talked about it. Mr. Perry threatened it. And then he carried out that threat. Right? We got to make her starve until she lies. I said it. We said it. We talked about it in podcasts. It's the emails to my attorneys are everywhere. Over and over and over and over. You're not fooling anybody. So, like, if I try to get a job at Walgreens. Okay, Walgreens is like, anybody can fucking work at Walgreens. So I apply, and I get a letter back that you're not good enough. And I'm like, oh my God. So I go back in. Actually, the way that happened is I walked in. I'm door dashing. They're hacking my DoorDash, making sure I can't make any money door dashing. And so I went in, and I'm in there one night, and one of the ladies in there said, "We're just so short. We just can't find work. We can't find people that want to work, especially in the night shift." And I go, "I want to work in the night shift, and I want to work." And she goes, "Great, we need you." And she goes, can you do this? Can you do this? I go, "Listen, I own my own job. I mean, my own business. I could fucking handle anything here." "Oh, great. Okay." So I go in, and she tells me where to go and apply. I go online and apply, and right away I get this letter back. You're not good enough. We don't. You're not good enough to work at Walgreens. And I'm like, oh my God, wow. So I go back in. I'm like, Charles and Dave they already fucked this up for me. So I'm done. I go back in, and she's like, "Did you apply? I told my manager about you. I mean, we really want you to work here." And I go, "Well, I already got a letter back that said I'm not good enough." She goes, "You're kidding me." And I go, "No." She goes, "Try again. Just try again." So I tried again. Well, they found out about all that. So now I just never heard anything. So I'm like, okay, fuck it. Do what you do. Just make sure you can live with the consequences. Because if I have your names and I'm quoting your meetings, surely you're smart enough to know there's going to be consequences. Even though you guys have a hard time with 2 and 2 is 4, surely you can at least figure that out. And I'm sitting here quoting everything you say. I mean, here's the thing, Mike, read that. That's my kid. He got hit. He's got bruises on him. Nobody died in the fight he was in. He got popped 3 times in the face. A security guard came and made the other guy leave, and that was that. Everybody went home safe and sound. And yet you can see on his face he was in a fight. And Mike, you can't. Nothing. He's got an IV in his right hand. That's why it's red and swollen. Mr. Perry, I would like you to shut up and get away from me. Shut the fuck up and get away from me. Will you please shut up? Respond like you understand what I just said. Rapist. So if you're a detective, surely you know that you'd have to have some injuries to support the hypotheses that you beat somebody to death. Right? When he's in this interview, he says to the guy, I can't believe you. I don't have anything on me. And the guy goes, well, it appears like he was beat to death. And at that point, I would have said, exactly, I get that. I'm not stupid. I'm a detective. But there's no evidence on me that indicates I did it. Mike would have said that probably. Were he not traumatized? Were he not just coming out of a fucking almost dying from drug overdose? And somebody put opioids in his drink, trying to kill him. Back to the not eating. So you go days without food. When you finally get food, you eat a lot. So yeah, within about a month, I put on I'm a little chubby. Right now, that would have devastated me before that happened. For somebody to say she's gotten a little chubby, I would have been so upset. Right now, I don't care. I'm glad to be chubby. It's that bad. It'll fuck you up when somebody makes you go without food. It will fuck you up. And so they're going to pay for that. There's going to be legal consequences for that. And we'll just wait and see how that goes. This is the arrest report. Mike Reed, you talk to me, you better know your shit, because I do. I read his whole docket. So they're retaliating against me. This is what I told Gene Mitchell. When my guy goes, Gene Mitchell's fixing to change what he said to the media. He's going to lie. Get in touch with him and make sure he doesn't lie. I did my best. I texted him like, what you're saying is not plausible, sir. Now, Gene Mitchell deposed me. He could have asked me, how'd you know Mike was drugged before we deposed first responders? And how'd you know I was going to change my legal argument before I changed my legal argument? But he asked me none of that. Now he's asking, how did she know that I was going to change my legal argument before I made my legal argument? Because she texted me and said, don't say that. That's not plausible. Looking at facts and evidence, it's not plausible. It made me go, these guys are something. We're going to starve her until she lies. Nothing says she's telling the truth right now louder than that. Louder than that. This was lucky. He's always wanting us to pull her over and get information on her car so he could take it away from her. And we didn't like that. In fact, I might call her in a protective order. Is that why you murdered him? That's certainly motive. Certainly motive. Not your name. Who has the power to get that to me in jail? Right up under your nose. And when we get any of this, is it up to you, Charles? No, it's not. But the guys that are getting it get really pissed off at what you're putting me through. And none of us give a fuck what you think, weirdo. Not two shits. Here's what everybody else wants. Your kids don't want to be embarrassed by you. They want a dad who's normal. So go be with your kids and be normal. I want my privacy. I want for you to never contact me again. I want my money back. The Millers want Lucky back. The Neelys want Mike back. It's about what we want. What we want matters, not what you want. That's why I can rattle off names of your people, and you have not one of mine. Not even one. That's why I can sit here and quote your meetings, and you have no idea what we say. Not a clue. So, for the last time, leave me the fuck alone. The more you cause a problem for me, and the more you cause drama, I have a or a problem of any kind at all, I lose an eyelash because you did something to cause me to lose the eyelash. They have fucked you up, and we get more. Right? And nobody will help you. Everybody's sick of you. The more you invade my privacy, the more you contact me, the more we get. So has everybody noted that Mr. Perry is telling me go back to work because we want to sue you and we need to get you served and arrested? Everybody hear it? I've said it about 5 times. I'm repeating myself over and over and over and over because Mr. Perry can't get it when the first 20 times you say it. He's still trying to figure out what's 2 and 2. What is it again? What? Somebody help me. What is... Sonjay, help Mr. Perry count. How many times was a crime call before you did it to me? And how many after? How many times have I repeated his threats of the day in this podcast? He can't count anymore. I don't want to hear from you. When you contact me, we get more. We find out more about your crime. Mr. Perry, when you contact me, we find out more about your crime. Mr. Perry, when you invade my privacy, we find out more about your crime. These cops, they'll invade yours. Do you like that? Do you like it? Do you like getting quoted and you're sitting there planning your crime? Do you? I mean, look at all that. This is take her car away from her. That's what Lucky was talking about. That's a motive for murder right there. Yep. On and on and on and on. And then you did. You got to my car guy. Look how many times my car was hit. Mike, Sheriff Reed. Look at that. Over and over, repeat. Threat after threat after threat after coercion after perjured statement. Mr. Perry, will you please stop contacting me? I don't want to hear it. Shut up, weirdo. I don't want to hear it. Get the fuck out of my phone. Right now. Get out of it. Get the hell out of my phone. What you think doesn't matter. What I think matters. You're not the injured party here. You don't lose your home. Nobody's going where you are. Nobody's trying to make one problem after another for you. Nobody's caused catastrophic, horrible loss for you. You're causing that, and everybody's sick of it. Everybody's sick of it and hearing you talk. So, will you please just shut up? So all of this information we got every time Mr. Perry tried to contact me. Every minute my privacy is invaded. Every time he caused a loss of any kind. Leaks got mad, or whoever. Somebody got mad. So we got it before you did it, not after. Mike was drugged. I said it right here. Right? And the depositions weren't taken till May. I said it in March 2020. You know what a reporter said? Mr. Perry starts trying to bribe me. I get threatened and bribed. I have a house for you. I have a house. I'll fix your problems. Oh, the problems you created, you'll fix them? Oh, gee, thanks. You're the villain, not the hero, dumbass. So, this reporter says... there was actually 2 that commented on Mike's case. The first one said, had they let her testify and they still found Mike guilty, we might believe what they said is true, that they didn't kill that chief. But that's not what happened. They made sure she didn't testify, so now we know they did. I don't care what they say. It doesn't matter. If you watch right now, there's one thing going on at Fox News to the public and something else altogether in private emails as to what they thought of Trump. 2 different worlds. One thing in front of all the public, something else completely behind everybody's back, right? See, reporters talk to each other, Mr. Perry, and they talk behind your back. And they don't like you. A lot of them don't. And they think you're stupid. So, if I'm quoting you, you think we don't know what they're saying? Some of them, they're talking to them. So one of them said that. We know they killed Chief Miller. Because if they didn't, what's the harm in letting her testify? What do they care? Why are they so interested in her traffic court case if they didn't arrange that pullover? Why are they getting in it? Anyways, so this other reporter said, when Charles was threatening, and I finally said, you're going to give it back and you're going to get the fuck out. Get out. Give back what you took and get the fuck out. I don't want your bile money. I don't want anything to do with you. Don't threaten me. give it back what you owe me, what you took from me, and get the fuck out. I don't want your buy-a-lie money. She said, had they done that then, back in 2020, and part of that was get Mike home to his family, because we all know he didn't do it. And this was in 2020, March 2020. Had they done that, then we would, if she continued to assert that they killed Chief Miller, we would think she was wrong, if not a little nutty. But that's not what they did. We helped get him home. So we didn't do that. We didn't have anything to do with any of it. We backed the blue. That's not what they did. She said instead, it defies all logic, what they've done. Just completely defies all logic. So now we know they killed Chief Miller and framed Mike. And they're retaliating against Cindy. And her finances show that. Everything in her life shows that. It's plain as day. So, there's a lot more to that. I'm not going to... But you have acts that show consciousness of guilt that you guys seem to like to... I don't know. So we've got a lot of albums here. This is a lot of stuff on the hacking. Evidence of the hacking. Bills that were paid that I didn't want paid. This bill was in dispute. I've asked for a canceled check. The guy refused to give it to me. Well, what's he hiding? Yeah. My false arrest, all the documents on that are in here. This is what I was upset about, not a political vendetta. Right? This is in 2011, before I could have anticipated Mr. Perry would go into court and lie. He's not. This is I don't know what this is. There's a lot of there's some emails between Mr. Perry, please don't contact me, I don't like it. We're gonna get more because you just did that. Everybody, he will not get out of my phone and shut up right now while I'm doing this. So we'll probably get a shit ton more tonight while everybody's sleeping, because when he contacts me, we get more. These are emails between Mr. Perry and I. Does it sound like we have and his staff and I? Does it sound like there's a political vendetta here? Yeah. Nope. And the false arrest, where is it? All those documents are here. See? Are you giving me arsenic? Yes. Okay, because I was getting sick. So, if somebody's threatening you with death and false arrest, you need a protective order, and you have to file a police report to get one. And the police are supposed to properly collect the evidence and do a proper investigation. MTP did not. They gave my police report right to the offender. Look at the date. January 21st. My arrest was a few days later. No investigation happened. So in order to have probable cause for a charge of retaliation against a public servant for doing his job by filing a false police report, first you have to prove that why would there be retaliation over his job? Where's the evidence of a political vendetta? There's not any, because there was none. Mr. Perry's delusional. He imagined that. Or he just lied. Which is it? He has yet to tell us. And then the second thing is, where's the proper collection of evidence and the investigation to determine whether or not the police report was false or true? There was no time for that. And so the bond conditions, where we want you to lie. I'm not going to lie. Go fuck yourself. I just lost my house. My mugshot's all over the news, and I didn't commit a crime. In Oklahoma, you got to file a police report if you want to get a protective order. They knew that, because my first one was denied because I didn't. For one of the reasons was I didn't have my police report with me. They knew that was a law. And so I'm in compliance with the law in the state of Oklahoma where I live, and they charged me in Texas where I don't live and don't want to ever go back to. I never want to go to Texas again. Everybody hear me say that? I, Cynthia Ortiz, I'm stating for the record on March 9th, 2023, I never want to go to Texas again. And if I end up in Texas again, it will be by force against my will. Okay? We're clear on my that's why we do these podcasts, so I can say what I think. Because Mr. Perry at times has gone around and told everybody what he thinks, what he wants me to, I'll just make crap up and say he's not my spokesperson. He's not to be anywhere near me. He's the criminal, I'm the victim, period. That's all it is. Except I have help. Mr. Perry, shut up. Please, no one cares what you think. You are not asked. Shut the fuck up, bitch. Get the hell out of my phone. Do not contact me again. So, these bond conditions say he is not to contact me. Right? There's no way a senator from Texas, gonna allow his name to be put in my bond conditions that he's not to contact me. But that's what it says right here. Charles Perry is not to contact her because he admitted he's stalking and he agreed to stop. If I just didn't say anything, please lie. No, I'm not gonna lie. I'll just stay quiet and I won't give details about my false arrest on one condition. Mr. Perry never ever contacts me again. So that's why that's there. I saw a shrink. She didn't say I'm crazy, did she? No, she did not. Because it's kind of hard to do when, everybody... Here's her letter. That's the letter. And, I was telling everybody he's threatening me with false arrest. Months before he did. That's dated October 2015. There was a letter to... Here's the law. Here's the first order. That number 2, I didn't comply with this. Yeah. Here's the... Look, TPD didn't even call me back. I'm already in jail. Look at the dates. Look at the times. Know your shit. There's my letter to the U.S. Attorney after those 2 cops came in at Sensations and told me he's trying to find a way to false arrest you. I mean, it's I told you so. I told you so. I did say I told you so. We find out this stuff before, Mr. Perry, because you're pissing everybody off. You give me the creepy crawlies. You're nasty and you're repulsive and you're disgusting. Leave me the fuck alone. Everybody's sick of you. I mean, we have no problems getting information. Sometimes you tell on yourself. Leave me the fuck alone, weirdo. Leave me the fuck alone. You think John Ensign here has to have things said more than once? Nope. You say it one time for him. Same thing with Harry Reid when Harry Reid was alive. Yeah, they don't need anything repeated over and over. Rick Perry. Never had to repeat myself for Rick Perry. Rick Perry, he's a good guy. I didn't know Randy Nagelbauer very well. Sheriff Gutierrez. You know how many times I had to say things for Sheriff Gutierrez and Ruth Schumeyer? One time. You need to keep up. There's my granddad. Put his hand on me and never took it off. Chief of Police. Relieve suffering. My great granddad. Looks like a super sleuth right there, like Joe Friday or something. He's a detective. My granddad was a county treasurer and a city councilor in Roswell, where I grew up. That's his name on the front door of that police department. He went through something similar to what I'm going through right now, and he did the right thing because it was the right thing to do, and he went through hell. But guess what? At the end of the day, nobody remembers the other guy. But my granddad's name is on the police department to this day. Mr. Perry's typing in my phone. Is it Roswell Police? Mr. Perry, Roswell Police does not have the capabilities to do what our guys do. Now, I'm never going to help you, and it pisses me off that you have the nerve to ask. I want my money back. I want my privacy back, and I want for you to be gone. It's about what I want. I matter, not you. You haven't lost a fucking thing. So, name one other victim that has the kind of information I have. Those are my kids. This was my granddad's t-shirt when he ran for sheriff. He actually lost that race. My dad did something that was bad. Anyways, there is a magazine here. My granddad solved this murder in Roswell. That's my great-granddad. He was captain of detectives. And my granddad, Chief Hall. And this is what law enforcement is about. Relieve suffering caused by crime. Or don't be a cop. I mean, I don't know what else to say. People are very frustrated with police that are corrupt right now. And that's why we hear the defunding. People demanding that you, I don't know, do your job right for once, please. And stop being corrupt and stop being, fife. Or we call them finger paint cops if they're stupid. I don't want police to be defunded. I want police to just do the job right. I think that's probably the majority of the feeling across this country is please just do it fucking right. Quit fucking up. If you can't do it right, it's not for everybody. Go find a different job that you're better at. Just go find something else. And if you're good at being a cop, then be a really good cop. Sometimes things are going to happen that make you have to make a decision to do the right thing or not. And my granddad taught me with his life, not with words. My granddad didn't talk to me about that stuff that he was going through. I was just a little kid, but I remember watching the stress on his face. You could see it on him. And then as I grew up, my granny told me what happened, showed me newspaper articles and stuff. He got smeared in the news. But he did the right thing because it was the right thing to do. And to this day, at the end of the day, to this day, his name is on the front door of that police department. And nobody remembers who the other guy was. I can't remember his name to save my life. Nobody does. No one cares. He doesn't matter. You know who matters? My granddad. Charles Perry. I don't care what you think. Everybody's just amazed at why you think I care what you think. And you must think I do because you never shut up. I get the hell out of my life. I don't want to help you. I want for you to be gone. I want you to shut up and get away from me. Okay? Shut the fuck up and leave me the fuck alone, weirdo. Shut up and leave me alone. Get the hell away from me. I don't want to help you. No one's going to help you until you leave me the fuck alone. And the more you drag this out and on and everybody's going to say the same thing for you over and over, the less these guys can do to help you. I'm sure shit not going to help you. If you want them to help you, get the fuck away from me and never bother me again. You're bothering me. And I'd like you to stop it. Alright? Alright, so I'll be at Sensations maybe. If I decide to go back, that's where I'm going. And so everybody want to go over there and fuck with me so I can say I told you so. And our guy's got another charge for you. Have at it. Sheriff Reed, if you want to talk to me, just make sure you know your shit before you talk to me. I'm not gonna, we're all sick of this. We're all sick of it. Our guys want to get them all at the same time. They have a strategy in mind, and it's taking a long time, and that's irritating some people, including me. But they know what they're doing, and they're very, very, very good at it. So you got to trust it. You got to trust it. They've done more to keep my ass safe than anybody else has. A whole lot more. Guess what else? Most of us, there's 40 of us. Most of us are Christians, and we pray together every day. And so a lot of times when we see things happen that no one else, we get stuff nobody else has. That's why right there. Because God doesn't think what you're doing is cute. You know what else? I'm reading in my Bible that there was that during the Babylonian exile and all that crap, Israel was divided into two parts, Judah and Israel, I think, and Edom or something, and that part of the prophecies was God expressing anger when there was battles, and one didn't help one country. That was basically one country kind of split in two. Didn't help each other. When they didn't help each other out, God prophesied, you're going to get punished for that. And they did. God doesn't think this shit is cute. He just doesn't. And so when we have accomplished something that seems that we're like, wow, that was very nearly impossible. The brick they threw at me on the freeway did not kill me. The arsenic didn't kill me. The opioids didn't kill Mike. Lucky died because everybody has a day when it's our turn. It's our time to go. And if we don't die, we're not finished yet. God isn't finished using us yet. So we're here to be used by God. Here am I, send me. Just like that. Just that's the way it is, like it or not. These guys are a lot into Satan, which I can't fucking understand why anybody would do that. You don't see a line of people just can't wait to go serve Satan. You just don't see it. And Satan is subject to God. Anytime he's gone to Like with Job, he had to go ask God's permission. He is a servant, of sorts. He still has to answer to God. He's not God. I mean, who the fuck goes and serves Satan? I cannot begin to understand what would possess anybody to do that. But I guess some people are, I don't know. A Gipetto, you're whack job, Gipetto, or you wouldn't do what you're doing. So, when we get, there's a lot of things we've gotten information-wise that it was hard, and we prayed, and we got it. So, God wants justice. He's the God of justice and the truth. And when he says don't lie, and don't steal, and don't bear false witness against your neighbor, and don't commit adultery, and don't covet things that don't belong to you, mind your own business, and don't have any other gods before me. There's a reason he set those things in as standard. That's the moral standard. And America has made the laws, a lot of countries make the laws in line with that. You break those laws, you're going to piss people off. And you have. And you did. So we can name people that work for you. And you can't name anybody working with us. And we can quote your meetings and you can't do shit. Nothing like that. 9 years of that. So you want to threaten me, Mr. Perry? Go to work so I can sue you and have you served and have you arrested. Duly noted for the record that you made that specific threat. Again. And everything's a repeat. And everybody's sick of you wasting people's times having to say the same thing for you. You need to get a nurse or something. This is what cops are supposed to do. This is right here is what they're supposed to do. And our guys, the ones helping me, they're doing it. They're doing it when nobody else is. They're doing it. They're doing it. They didn't call TPD and say, do we have permission? Nope. Because TPD handed my police report right to the offender. So at that point, can't be trusted. Right? Can't be trusted. And there's no rapport. It's very important for police to build rapport. And they fucked it up. And then they should have got him on obstruction, and they didn't. And now we have a dead Lucky and an almost dead framed Mike, which makes it even worse. Remember what I said, God got very upset when one country didn't help the other. And then think about that. I mean, I don't know how many of you guys are Christians and how many of you aren't. But think about that. God got very upset when one did not help the other. Charles, you're creeping me out. You don't get a date acting like you're acting, do you? You don't get a cover-up. Nobody will help you. We get more when you creep me out. Is that what you want? Because that's all that's happened in 9 years. Okie doke, get the fuck out of my life.